Hello and welcome back to Band of Comrades 2, probably one of the last installments of that series, because we are near the end of the war in Berlin. We have breached into the Tempelhof airfield near the east entrance here. Well, we haven't breached in yet actually, but we are close to. So on the tarmac, or close to it, there are at least two bunkers, which I hope are machine gun nests and not pack bunkers. So my plan now is this SU 122mm assault gun will breach the east entrance near the knocked out flak and will take out both of these bunkers. After that our infantry will breach into the, or rather our sappers will breach into the, well, they're not hangars, into the terminal building, I guess is what this is. And clear it out. We will move through the terminals to the administrative offices, where there's still some Volkssturm resistance. And also clear out objective Schnecke over here. Schnecke meaning snail or something like that. Okay. And that's basically the plan, and that should give us the win. Let's knock that stupid bunker out. Slight damage to the tracks, but nothing major. Let's see how fast we can spot it, and I hope I don't get stuck in one of the shell craters. No anti-tank fire to knock it out, that's a good sign. Oh, see it? Yeah, it's a machine gun nest. That was a good hit. I think that knocked it out immediately. I don't think... Oh, actually it does spot the other one. Another machine gun nest has SS guys and Volkssturm dudes in there. Interestingly, this SS guy actually has an Italian camo pants. I haven't seen that in this game yet, I think. That's more of a Normandy thing, but fair enough. Told them to set the charges. Should be pretty quick because they are pretty high training. Or experience level. Oh, that was fucking synchronized. Did we knock it out? We did hit it. It's not completely knocked out though. Ah, crap, took a casualty. Another hit on the bunker. Yeah, that should knock it out, I think. Nope, it is. The SS guy took over the machine gun nest. There's also people in the shed. Come on, one more 122mm round. Oh, there's another bunker back there as well. Okay. We received an off-map battery of 122mm guns. To be honest, without TRPs I don't see a good way to use them. I could bombard Neukölln, but for that I need to get my artillery observer into here, I guess, and even then I wonder if they won't surrender before, so I might be too lazy to do that, to be honest. Sadly, the rubble makes it hard to cross my tanks into here and get a shot at this bunker. And there are still Volkssturm guys in this hangar, not hangar, in this terminal. So I don't want to move up my IS-2 too closely. On the other side. What was that? Fast? Other than that, we're in combat with some elements of the Germans here. Looks like Luftwaffe troops. That guy is aiming some kind of mortar. I think that's what that was. Oh, that's not good. Although I guess my guys are all kind of in these huge buildings. I don't know how good a mortar is actually going to do them there. Okay, let's get through that rubble. I hope nobody throws a track. Yeah, they're firing these 5cm early war mortars at me. Which are not really in use anymore, but I guess because this is like a airfield defense unit, we have all the old crap. There's one more bunker, maybe the Sherman can knock it out, otherwise we will use the assault gun. Oh, good hit. Good hit! I think that was it. Yep. Didn't even need the 122 mil. There's Volkssturm guys. No, those are SS guys running away actually. Good sign, I guess. Let's knock out those mortars just in case they do some damage after all. This is the rest of one of my platoon of submachine gunners. We had heavy casualties with them throughout the campaign, and they will have one last hurrah, go in here, work through the what's it called? Work through the airfield terminal here. Let's move them up. I'm kind of noticing they're running out of ammo. These only have 63 rounds for 3 PPSHs. Although these have more and they share the ammunition automatically, so it's probably fine. Told one of my guys, not my guys, but one of my teams to get really high up in the hangar. I keep saying hangar, it's more of a terminal, I think. Yeah, there was a mortar again, but the Sherman tank should take care of that. There's a touch objective over there for the tarmac, which probably represents us kind of moving in there and blowing up all the planes parked there. There was a big, like, plane cemetery at Tempo, if I remember correctly. Hope they don't have Panzerfaust with those mortars. That would be annoying if they knocked out my Sherman. Okay, yeah. I hope I don't have to go through all of them, but they probably weren't in the upper echelons anymore because they tend to run down after getting under fire. Okay, so the next room is probably clear then as well, otherwise we would have received fire already. We're sniping with our PPSHs at these dudes. Tanks haven't spotted them yet, but I mean... it's all airfield forces. We have some people up here, yeah, looking into the wrong direction of course. I took one casualty there, but we cleared out the rest. It's kind of good that I didn't move the IS-2 up as I had shortly considered. Oh, they're actually moving in here? Okay. Let's see, I know there's more in here, although they might have scuttled by now. Put a few HE rounds here. I still fight. Okay, moving up. Actually, where's my fallen guy? I need to pick that guy up. In here, huh? Okay. Maybe I should get the platoon HQ in there. Enemy fire here so far. That guy. We're looking into this room and seems to be clear. This will be kind of annoying because I don't think we can directly fire at them from here, so we will have to expose ourselves at the wall. Question is, will we transport this guy to the rear? Yeah, okay, so that means that probably these guys have already skedaddled, but I'm not 100% certain, obviously. Okay, this one is clear. We'll wait for a few seconds and then step out, which should be kind of risky to be honest, but we will see. Come to think of it, it would have been more clever maybe to get to go upstairs and shoot from upstairs instead of going out. Yeah, I didn't think this completely through, to be honest. No, well, too late. Oh, here we go. Okay, got the guy. Okay, there's more firing from that wall over there. How much ammo do they have left? 50. Oh, that's actually not great. Maybe I haven't thought that through. Oh, there's more Volkssturm guys as well. I think, okay, they got the guy with the MP44. Oh, we're taking fire from me as well. Haven't I nuked that already at one point? Oh, we're really running out of ammunition. I think I will have to use different infantry. I can't really bring a truck up here to resupply these. Oh, there's more in here as well. More SS troops, actually. No, we took a casualty. Wounded. Well, doesn't matter though. They surrendered. Total victory. And this was also, I believe, the final level. So they lost 147 men killed, 76 wounded, 6 men missing. Lost 1 tank. Yeah, the Stuck in the beginning. Almost forgot about that. We lost 21 men killed, 18 men wounded, 0 men missing, and lost that 1 T-34 to the anti-tank gun. So let's review the map. As predicted, I didn't have to storm Neukölln after all. Yeah, this guy has the distinction, the sad one, of being the last guy that I lost. Well, not lost, I mean, well, was heavily wounded in this campaign. Let's see what they had left. Okay, yeah, this is actually the section HQ of these SS units. And a group HQ as well. That's probably why they fought quite significantly here. And over here we have more SS straggler forces. Okay. So, this was the last surviving guy in that house that I bombarded several times. There was apparently one more trench here, but yeah, I didn't really venture into this area too much. What are these? More Luftwaffe forces, okay. Neukölln was defended by more Luftwaffe, okay. That's standard stuff. We destroyed a puck here. That was actually the most successful anti-tank asset that the Germans had in this scenario. It knocked out 1 tank. Captured Russian anti-tank gun. Okay, yeah, last scenario. Now, when this comes out, it might actually be already 2022, I think. I'm actually recording this in June 2021, so hello from the past. I hope the world has not ended. Other than that, maybe look at a few tanks. This one had knocked out 2 Stucks, 1 flak, had 57 enemy casualties that it caused. The IS-2, well, that wasn't part of my core force actually, neither was this. Oh, so the Su-122 knocked out the anti-tank gun, so that's cool. Oh, this guy, 80 kills, including, I guess now 2 bunkers. One 75mm puck and one 37mm puck, so that was our anti-tank guy, anti-tank guy I should say. So, oh, there were still some forces around the brewery here, although they were broken. Yeah, broken. I sent back that weird panicking tank crew here. Ah, okay. They caused only one enemy casualties in this scenario and then got knocked out. But all in all, pretty good. 86, one Panther late, one Jagdpanzer 4 late, one Stuck 3 latest as well. I think there was... no, it wasn't. Never mind. This one in comparison, well, actually that's the Tank Brigade HQ, so obviously I didn't use that to fight that much. That one knocked out the concrete covered Stuck 3 this time. All in all, 93 enemy casualties. That's our biggest kill score so far. 97, never mind, including a Panther 5G mid, Stuck 3G late, Stuck 3G latest, and a 75mm Pak 40 anti-tank gun. It's a veteran as well. And the other T-34, only 32. Crack, but it's a crack guy. Also a Stuck 3 mid. Okay, I don't want to go through this stuff too much. One thing I want to check out, I still have a lot of stuff here in reserve, including my urban combat specialists. I didn't use them nearly as much as I probably could have, especially the flamethrowers. Well, they cost 4 casualties, 7. That's more than I usually get with flamethrowers, gonna say that much. 4 for these. But yeah, I find these a bit unwieldy and fragile to use in general. 1 for the heavy machine gun. Normally heavy machine guns are quite good in this. But in an urban combat scenario, actually not so much. Panzerfaust dude got 3 enemy casualties. Okay, so how much did we get? That the initial barrage knocked out one 37mm flak and 49 enemy casualties. That's pretty good. And all in all, the artillery observer cost 168 enemy casualties. That's probably the winner here. One Opel Blitz mortar ammo, one 20mm flak, and one 37mm flak. That's pretty good. I have to imagine that's probably the winner here. Maybe check out some more tanks, but yeah, it's, nobody comes close to that. Yeah, the artillery really did a lot here in this campaign. Okay, I would say we won. Let's, no, this is how it works. Let's look at the end screen here. Allied force total victory, death to the fascists, a glorious victory for the motherland. And all in all, we killed 1,157 men, wounded 639, captured 131. That's actually pretty good. I don't think I've ever had a campaign where I captured that many. And we knocked out 8 armored vehicles and 6 other vehicles. We lost 175 men killed, 191 men wounded, 10 tanks. So okay, when we knocked out 19 tanks, I skipped that earlier, and 3 other armored vehicles, and yeah, that is it. We didn't lose an aircraft. We had an aircraft once, and it didn't do anything. It just flew around for a bit. So yeah, that was kind of disappointing, but at least we didn't lose it. So there's that. Also no friendly fire. Whew, this was a long campaign, and let's review it for a bit. Overall, I really liked it. I think this is one of the best, yeah, I would say so, as much one of the best campaigns I played in Combat Mission. It is better than the Seleno campaign I played before, I would say that much. I had more fun with this. It is very, very long, and that's a positive. The last few campaigns I think I played were all like 4 or 5 scenarios. This was really long, and I think it's also the campaign that I played so far that covered the most ground and the most or the biggest time period. Usually these are a few days or cover like a week maybe, and this really went for months. Now obviously that also meant that sometimes it feels like the resupply mechanic kind of didn't fit for that, because it's like, oh yeah, so after a week you haven't resupplied my artillery support, that seems unlikely, you know, stuff like that. But okay, fair enough. Didn't cause big problems. Generally speaking, wasn't the hardest campaign ever, so there's certainly more difficult ones. But one big plus that I want to mention here is that it was extremely varied. Like the scenarios the types of forces you fought, the type of objectives you had, and also the type of terrain was very varied compared to other campaigns. I mentioned that in the Courage Conquers campaign in the final Blitzkrieg game, where it was all the same all the time, all the same enemies, the same objectives, you storm the same kind of villages over and over with the same forces. Now you always had the kind of the same forces here, you always had your Sherman tanks and your submachine gun infantry, okay, fair enough. Although there was some interesting assistant forces or auxiliary forces that were attached, like the IS-2 now in the latest, in the last scenario. You know, you had Su-100s that were showcased, you had the heavy assault guns in several scenarios. So there was some variety there as well. But okay, your own force was generally always the same, but it was a fun force to play with. You could do a lot of tank riding, which you don't get to do in the other games. The units were all veteran, I would say, or most of them were veteran, or some were even crack forces. So you really felt like, okay, this is the end of the war. The guys that have survived now know what they're doing. You really are in command of a great, experienced fighting force. Good stuff there. As I said, but what was really varied are the different scenarios. Like in the beginning, you fought mostly like regular German forces in Poland. You had the wintry weather. Then you moved into Germany and you started going up against Volkssturm forces. There was a defensive mission thrown in where you actually faced some fairly heavy German armor as well. Although most of the armor the Germans faced were Stuks, which for 1945 seems completely on point. I'm not complaining, actually. And then, of course, the last three scenarios, you were in Berlin, you had urban terrain, but even there they varied it up quite a bit. Started out with like a park type area. Then you had, what's it called? Then you had really heavy urban fighting. And then in the end, you had the special objective kind of this weird structure, the Tempelhof airfield, which looks very distinct. So they really mixed it up. I don't think there was a single scenario where it's like, yeah, okay, my forgettable filler, you know. Every scenario had some kind of hook, some interesting, maybe except for the very first one, but some kind of interesting thing going on. So I appreciate that a lot in a campaign. Really good, kept me interesting. There was not a single scenario. I had that in some of the Paper Tiger campaigns where I was like, I don't want to play this, and then I procrastinated on continuing the campaign. Didn't do that here. Way too good for that. So yeah, some weaknesses. I felt like in some cases the enemy surrendered too soon, which of course for Volkssturm is fairly realistic, but it meant that especially I was a bit disappointed in the second to last scenario in Berlin. There were so many kind of cool areas that it's like, okay, you don't get to fight in that because they just surrender. And also the scenario before, they just surrendered in what felt like in the middle of it, you know. In this one it wasn't that bad because I decided to ignore the Neukölln area and I did get to fight for the airfield, so that was good. But generally speaking, in some cases it might have been good to maybe expand the combat area, put in some additional German forces that maybe you don't engage, but which would preclude them from surrendering. I know there's tricks that you can do. So that was the drawback. As I said, campaign was fairly easy, but there were two scenarios where I felt like it ramped up the difficulty rather suddenly. One was the one where you have to break through that so-called weak point. Was a good scenario, but that one was a lot harder than the rest of them. And I also felt like the second Berlin scenario that I mentioned earlier, if they hadn't surrendered in the middle, that one was also fairly difficult with the King Tiger and so on. But again, before the main challenge, they threw up their hands, so fair enough. Yeah. Other than that, is there anything left to say about this campaign? I actually don't think so. Thumbs up, really good campaign. One of the best I played so far. It's certainly up there with the Gustav Line campaign with the bridge and the Fallschirmjäger. That one was also great. It's certainly up in that league. Very good campaign. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this very long-running series. Hope you're still alive in 2022, or maybe I will. Maybe I will change my schedule and put this out earlier, but maybe not. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, thanks for watching and have a nice day.